Coming up next on Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road. These are the Fab Five, Peterbilt's 5 finalists out of more than 1,500 entrants, vying for the title of Peterbilt #1 superfan. But who's the best of the best? Who will drive away in this brand new Peterbilt 567, number 1 million off the line? Class is in session at the nation's only high school class that teaches students how to be a trucker. From simulators to field trips, even a class truck known as Old Betsy. These kids are in the fast lane to a high-paying career. It's 1 part home, 2 parts shrine to Peterbilt, and completely amazing. Tour a one-of-a-kind museum. Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road starts right here, right now.
We're modern-day cowboys, the kings and queens of the road. We're crossing this country and carrying the load. We'll get it where it needs to be. All you gotta do is make the call. It don't matter the distance. We're in it for the long haul. 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 Yeah, we're in it for the long haul. We're in it for the long haul. We're in it for the long haul.
Hello and welcome into King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt. I'm Dakota Vanderberg. Last week we found out who the candidates were, but this week we're going to meet the #1 Peterbilt superfan.
Last week on Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road, we met the Fab Five, a handful of hand-picked Peterbilt drivers who are simply the best of the best. Each driver has special skills, a rich background, and passion for pulling load.
My collection starts at 1918, and hopefully it's going to end at 2018 when this is over.
One of my best Peterbilt memories is cruising through my hometown with a load of skate park and a bunch of skaters hanging off the side of the load, and we're just putting through town, taking this park to a demo we were having the next day. And it fits, Peterbilt fits that culture.
My first truck was a 377 Peterbilt. In 2007, my dad would be diagnosed with a very aggressive form of lung cancer. Was just really blessed to have a father that would support me in what I did and my love for Peterbilts.
Nobody believes Peterbilt more than I do. I've been in a Peterbilt truck for 20 years out of my 25 years of driving. I'm proud to be in a Peterbilt, and I've worked hard to be in a Peterbilt.
It all for me started with Peterbilt from day one. Coming to realize my dad was a truck driver, my grandpa was a truck driver. It was the way of life for our family. The truck provided for all of us to live, and it's kind of followed that way for myself and my family now. We've lived the life, we've drove the truck, we've worked on the truck. We are Peterbilt.
But now it's time for the moment of truth, as someone's life is going to change for the better. The Fab Five have gathered at MATS, the Mid-American Truck Show, the nation's largest. They are center stage as we find out who will earn the title of Peterbilt's #1 superfan. The winner rides home in this brand new Peterbilt 567, the 1 millionth truck created by Peterbilt.
Everybody, please welcome Rick McClurkin, Peterbilt #1 superfan.
Congrats to Rick McClurkin, the Peterbilt #1 superfan.
Thank you very much, Peterbilt, for putting me here, and I'm going to keep it shining. Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Rick. We'll learn more about his story later on in King of the Road.
It may look like a typical California high school, but this one-of-a-kind class is only part of the story. When Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road continues, follow high school students at the nation's only class for trucking. It's like a talking book. We're talking about a one-of-a-kind backyard museum dedicated to Peterbilt. Hang on. And what do Google, Facebook, and Apple have in common with the new Peterbilt 567? Stay tuned for a high-tech answer. Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt, is brought to you by Peterbilt, Class Pays, by Dish, TV and HD connecting you coast to coast, by Extreme Trailers, innovation moving forward, by Allstate Peterbilt, giving truck operators every advantage every day, by Blaine Brothers, one family of companies, everything you need for the road, by AirTab, more than a fuel saver, brought to you by Mobile Delvac Diesel Engine Oil, and by Tri-Pack Evolution by Thermo King, chosen by more drivers than any other APU.
Welcome back into King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt. I'm Dakota Vanderberg, and now it's time to learn all about the #1 Peterbilt superfan, Rick McClurkin.
Welcome to the home of Peterbilt superfan Rick McClurkin. But Rick's sprawling San Jose manor is so much more.
Here's where the tour begins. This is my Peterbilt fantasy land. It's like a full-size HO train set with trucks.
Rick's shrine to Peterbilt is like a talking book, an extensive volume that covers trucking and Peterbilt history.
This legend was built in 1951 by Peterbilt. It was the first truck to have a 220 horsepower Cummins engine, big power back in the day. The wrecker unit has 3 big winches on it, and they were World War II surplus. It's a heavy-duty truck. Yep, this is death row. This truck is pushing up daisies, so we're gonna let her do her thing. You hear that? That's a 1947 Peterbilt. It's my favorite truck. I've had this for almost 30 years, and I could get in it and go to New York right now. It starts every time. It never breaks down. There is such thing as good trucks and bad trucks. This truck is just amazing. And, this truck came from the Oakland Fire Department.
His collection of trucks even predates Peterbilt. Fagel Motors was the trucking factory that T.A. Peterman purchased and started the march to tradition and trucking glory.
Okay, we're gonna show you how easy this thing starts. 1918 was the year. This is how we drive it. Going to work.
For Rick, living and growing up in the Bay Area allows him to appreciate the local trucking history a bit more. This is where it all began, back in 1939, as the first Peterbilt came off the line at the original factory in Oakland, California.
So Peterbilt was actually born in the area here. It was born in Oakland, California in 1939. Peterbilts are tough trucks. They were tough from the very beginning, and that heritage remains. They were built on the West Coast for logging operations in the very beginning, and I think they've maintained that strength throughout the years and that reputation.
Well, one of the things that I fell in love with Rick, it was his passion for Peterbilt. And I mean, this guy is like a walking, talking encyclopedia of Peterbilt. He really knows his history, he really has passion, and I fell in love with that. The passion that he has for Peterbilt. And I've grown to love Peterbilt myself.
Rick's love of the Peterbilt brand is rooted in history, and his love of the truck is unconditional.
A lot of people realize that it goes beyond just sitting behind the steering wheel. I've had an amazing life. Peterbilt is an iconic brand, and that really helps everything. And then, of course, when I was young, Peterbilt was everything because I was looking out of the windshield of my father's truck, riding with him down the road. And if it wasn't a Peterbilt, it wasn't very interesting.
Wow, Rick has an incredible story, and his museum takes you on a walk back in time.
Still ahead on Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road, take a test ride in the Peterbilt 567, the latest evolution in high-tech trucking. And later, tag along for a field trip with high school students learning how to be truckers. But first, time for our Lube-Tech truck build.
Josh Hainstock here, Long Haul Trucking. Today we're out in the garage. We're going to talk with Joe Miller. Joe's been a loyal, very dependable, very detailed, great employee for the past 3 years. Today we're here to hand off the keys to this beautiful 2019 Hawaiian Orchid Peterbilt to Joe Miller. For everything he's done for Long Haul, we'd like to give back and put him in this new truck.
I'm Joe Miller. I've been driving for Long Haul for almost 4 years now. It's my third experience with a brand new truck here, and it's somewhat overwhelming that they hand you the keys to a truck that is over $260,000 and tell you to go make a living.
Our 2019 Peterbilt 579s are all PACCAR powered, all equipped with driver video protection in cab. Long Haul utilizes PeopleNet for all our tracking of our trucks. Long Haul drivers are kept comfortable by Thermo King APUs.
Everything is top notch. That truck is full of so many safety features that guard me against any liability and maintain my license to the utmost ability so that what I actually make a living with is never in danger.
With all these great features on our trucks, this is how we track America's best drivers. With that, we not only want to have the best drivers, we want to have the best look out there on the road. That's why we come in with this beautiful Hawaiian Orchid paint job. The white stripes kind of give it an old school look that the drivers are really into these days, and really makes them feel good about what they're doing and how they're out there representing Long Haul every day on the road.
I'm Joe Miller, and I drive Long Haul.
Welcome back into King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt. I'm Dakota Vanderberg, and now it's time to take a tour of Peterbilt's very own Heritage 567.
Rick McQuarkin, Peterbilt,
Ever since Rick drove first prize off the main floor at the Kentucky Expo Center, his life got a whole lot smoother.
Never looked at a truck the way I do at this one, with everything that it has going for it and everything that it can do for me. My world has changed.
Peterbilt 1 million. The 567 Heritage is a truck miles ahead of the competition.
It's a newer truck that meets the needs of the newer changing industry. Trucking has been good to me.
Rick and his 567 are homeward bound, back to sunny California.
A lot of people ask me why I stay here, and it's because of the money, and it's because the economy, and well, it's because of where all the Peterbilt history is.
The 567 joins his rather rosy collection of rigs at his home and backyard shrine to Peterbilt near San Jose.
This is a 1968 Peterbilt. It was bought brand new by Frank Smith Trucking, and that was back in the Haight-Ashbury days. Worked for 45 years, every day. This was well known in San Jose.
Rick lives and works in the Silicon Valley, the region of America home to the world's technology leaders.
This is Facebook. It's said to be the longest continuous open space building in the world.
And Rick and his 567 are in the fast lane as Peterbilt set the pace, creating a tech-savvy truck.
This 567 is amazing. It's like a laptop that has 18 wheels. The truck is constantly talking back and forth to all the sensors. It just accelerates like crazy, and I'm a local driver, so I like acceleration.
Rick works with many of the major tech players, even a stop at the new world headquarters for Apple, dubbed the Spaceship. And here's just a few features that make the 567 out of this world. The PACCAR powertrain are the bones that build a powerful working truck that's also smooth and a quiet runner.
My favorite features of the 567 are driving it in a nutshell. It's so comfortable, it rides smooth, and these trucks have come so far. It's just amazing. Comfort. Comfort is what I feel in that 567.
For Rick, living and growing up in the Bay Area allows him to appreciate the local trucking history a bit more.
Peterbilts are tough trucks. They were tough from the very beginning, and that heritage remains. So many people that I know get out of their truck and walk away from it, and if it's a Peterbilt, they turn around and look at it while they're walking away. You don't see that with any other brand.
As for Rick and his 567, well, they're already driving into the next chapter of Peterbilt history.
This truck is just an amazing piece of technology. So I'm very lucky, very fortunate, and very proud to be Peterbilt super fan. It's the pride of being in a Peterbilt. Everybody wants to be you when you're in a Peterbilt.
The Heritage 567 is a one-of-a-kind truck that exceeds all expectations.
When long-haul trucking's King of the Road rolls on, we'll take you inside the nation's only high school class that teaches you how to be a trucker. Take good notes, we've saved you a front row seat. King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt, is brought to you by Peterbilt, Class Pays, by Dish, TV in HD connecting you coast to coast, by Extreme Trailers, innovation moving forward, by Allstate Peterbilt, giving truck operators every advantage every day, by Pomps, we know tires, you should know Pomps, by Trimble, transforming the way transportation works, by Long Haul Trucking, running on the power of promises kept, and by Lube-Tech, accelerating performance.
Welcome back into King of the Road. I'm your host, Dakota Vanberg. We tagged along with Rick as he toured one of the only high schools in America that teaches trucking.
This may look like a typical California high school, but at Patterson High School near Modesto, a one-of-a-kind class is only part of the story.
We want them to have a long career.
Class is in session at the nation's only high school that teaches students how to be a trucker.
Not only do we just look at the basic driving skills, but we kind of take it a step further and we kind of look at the industry as a whole. Say emerging new technologies, where is the industry going, what are the opportunities out there?
The class covers it all: the rules, laws, logs, and history, how to properly lift a load, and hours of seat time with the latest driving simulators. The students even have their own class truck, a Peterbilt affectionately known as Old Betsy.
When I see her, I look at her and I see the lives that she has changed. To me, she has a personality. She's very caring and compassionate, and she's never let us down.
But this is a hands-on class. Time for a field trip into the real world of a trucker. First stop, a classic truck stop along U.S. Interstate 5. Later at Morningstar, the largest tomato processor in the world, a chance to meet a potential employer.
Won't issue a dispatch to a driver if he's not going to have enough hours.
We definitely have a driving shortage. The American Trucking Association, they did a survey in 2015. We're short about 50,000 drivers. That number is estimated to grow to about 175,000 by the year 2024. We've seen the numbers, we know the shortage, it's only going to escalate. Somebody needs to step in and say, you know what, let's do something about this.
Back at school, a special guest speaker, Peterbilt superfan Rick McClurkin and his 567.
Wow, this is fancy.
Air intake piping. There you go. Yep. Turbocharger? Yeah.
Brother, I want one now. The 579 is nice, but this is nice too.
I'm coming down the road, guys.
If you are into trucks or truck driving or the trucking business, you can still start your own business. It's part of the American dream that hasn't gotten squashed yet.
The class presents trucking as a solid career for students in an industry that is thriving and full of opportunity.
We had a driver came in last week to talk to our class. He's making $120,000 a year. He's working 5 days a week. He's home every night. He doesn't have a student loan. He's happy, he's successful, and he loves life.
So our students have some great opportunities out of high school. We have some that will be starting right out of high school at salaries of $70,000 a year, and that's huge.
For some students, it's much more than a class. It's been a life-changing experience.
Well, like I was always on the wrong path. I was a big pot smoker, I'm not gonna lie. Now I don't do that no more. So I got rid of that in my life, and I'm going to pursue my life on trucking, make my money. I wanted to support my family.
After our first year, I'm more amazed of what we've accomplished than I ever thought we would, because going in, I saw this as just really, teaching students how to drive a truck, but it's really developed into something much more than that. To hear these students where their lives have been transformed, that's the cool part. I've had parents come to me, shake my hand, thanking me for saving their son, and that says a lot.
And to that, we say, keep on trucking, Patterson High. Keep on trucking.
Congratulations, Rick. What an incredible story. You truly are the Peterbilt superfan. That's all the time we have left here today on King of the Road. I'll see you here next time. I'm your host, Dakota Vanderberg.
Next week on Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road. Time for California Dreaming with long haul trucking driver Matt Olson. From his sunny West Coast base, Matt travels the nation, but his Peterbilt is not Matt's only mode of transportation. Later, tag along with All-State Peterbilt's mobile truck service team. Those stories and more next week on Long Haul Trucking's King of the Road.